Hey, Home Choice students. You're going to be working on the Bismarck German Unification DBQ, and you're going to be looking through these documents, and you're going to be trying to use the documents to answer the question, how important of a role did Otto von Bismarck have in the creation of the German nation state? So some of these documents, honestly, are going to show him as a pretty central figure. Obviously, this visual here where he's right in the center makes him central. So as you're kind of looking through it, you're going to see that some of the documents suggest that he is very important. And then other documents suggest that there is something more important, which is nationalism, or this national pride that drew the German people to want to have a unified country. And while Bismarck used nationalism, he wasn't essential to it. So you kind of have to go through the documents and decide which ones you trust more, which ones you value more, and then take a position on how important Bismarck's role was in the creation of the German nation state. The questions that are after each document are going to help to get you to focus on these type of things. So here, for example, is a poem written in 1813, and so it was a nationalistic poem. It's called The German Fatherland. Its message, as you will read, is kind of talking about what is Germany and what is our fatherland. And you get down to, so tell me now at last the land, as far as the German's accent rings and hymns to God in heaven sings, that is the land. There, brother, is thy fatherland. So this idea that people who speak German should be together in one country is kind of the focus of this poem. So you see that like nationalism as being highly important, or pride in your country and your nation as bringing the German people together. So I want you to look through all of these documents. I want you to answer all of the questions. Please type your answers in blue ink so that it's easy for me to distinguish between the prompt of the question and your answer. And then you're going to get down here to the bottom, and this is where you're going to write your paragraph. And so again, your paragraph, much like the paragraphs that we've written in the past, I want you to choose 3 documents to use. You're not going to have to write a whole DBQ, but I want you to pick the 3 that you think support your opinion of the importance of Bismarck. So if you're going to say he's very important, then that's going to be your thesis statement, but you need to tell me why he was very important. And then you want to pick 3 documents that support what you're saying, and I want you to summarize and explain them in a nice paragraph. I would expect that your paragraph is probably going to be somewhere between 8 and 11 sentences. So to get you started, let me just give you an idea of what it might look like. Okay, so I just went ahead and typed a thesis statement, and I said Bismarck was not as important as some might believe in the unification of Germany. It would have happened without Bismarck because the people desired unification. So my summary kind of is the idea that I believe that this was more of a unification brought about by the people's desire instead of a single leader's desire. And so then I would go through and maybe use that poem and some other things to support my opinion. And I would say something like, for example, and then I would give in the poem by ... and I would give the name of the poet, and then I would say something about the nationalism that talks about unifying people with the same language. And then I'd pick another of the documents that supports my opinion and another one. You also could take a middle ground and say something like, well, Bismarck was important, he wasn't the only thing, and kind of explain why, but it needs to have a little bit better thesis than that. So you need to tell me why he was important, but why he wasn't the only thing. So you can take the middle ground and use some documents on both sides, or you can say Bismarck was essential to the unification of Germany and tell me why. So this is the setup, but I want you guys to write a good paragraph. We're working on improving our writing this year, so please do your best and stay away from quotes for the most part. I'd like you to summarize the documents, not quote them. When you finish, you will submit this to Turnitin.com. There will be a week 11 Bismarck German Unification DBQ spot, and you'll turn in the whole thing. So all of your answers will be together. So I don't want separate paragraph and then documents. I want it all together. All right, good luck.